or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house.
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had to work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, game's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, KYOKradio.org. It is our Throwback Thursday. Got some more of the free classic barbecue sandwiches from Dickey's Barbecue to give away. And I want you to stay tuned for your chance to win those. Also, man, I'm trying to behave. Good gracious. I'm so trying to behave. But, man, Brett Favre, everybody who wants to blame LeBron James for everything that's wrong in the world, I'm trying to behave. Rockets lost to Utah. That, for me, was expected. Astros pitching is horrible. Astros starting pitching, not named Zach Greinke. Nah, bro. Urquidy and all them. Yeah, bobo. But, don't need Garrett Cole. Let him go to the Yankees. Missing Justin Verlander like crazy. And oh yeah, by the way, still missing George Springer at the top of that order. Just FYI. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about a whole lot more on the lunch break. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, going to be on here. Got a couple of guys that, they keep going to these clubs and violating the health and safety protocols. We'll talk about all that right here on Throwback Thursday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Shout out to Winston-Salem University.
This is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of the Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. You got to give the people time. Give the people what they want.
The
Legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org. Trying to see what I want to get to first. Oh, I know what I need to do first. I need to pay this bill. That's what I need to do. I need to pay this bill. Let me get this set up. Y'all, I don't know why I keep trying to forget this. This is going to be a nice little deal right here. CJ, you need to check this out right here. CJ, I'm playing this for you by request. I'm playing this requested one by JJ for you. All right, hold on, CJ, this you.
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas, at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath concert. Saturday morning, April 24th at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
All right, y'all, that's it. Had to get that in. So, CJ, that's for you. Get on over there to Porter, Texas, and hang out with John P. Key. That's what you do, all right? All right, big shout out to Gila Rhodes. Y'all don't understand. Every now and then you'll find yourself in a dark place, tough place where you just can't get out by yourself, and the good Lord will send you an angel. She was my angel. I was in a tough place one time, and she kept on me, man, invited me to a revival at her church. And like John P. Key said, I made it out. Yeah, so Gila Rhodes, thanks for tuning in to the lunch break. Tell my baby girl I said hello. She done grown up. How old is baby girl now? I know she grown now, ain't she? Hit me up. Let me know. Tell everybody I said, hey, over there at Ministers for Christ. Y'all are still in my sincere thoughts and prayers. So tell Prophetess Holman that I said hello. Lady Holman, I said hello. All right. So anyway, lot going on in the world of sport. Let me see what I want to get to before I get to the basketball stuff. Hey, Amy, Claire, Boucher, Castro, Johnson, Smith, Barney, Jones III. What's happening? Man, that young lady right there got it going on with the baking. She got it going on with the baking. She's got these hot chocolate bombs that will blow your mind. And if I'm not mistaken, Amy, didn't you just do a TV or a magazine kind of interview thing? You got to tell us about that. You need to call us, 281-453-1000. Tell us about it with your blowing up self. I'm going to have to post a picture of me and Amy from back in the day. Amy and I go back to, well, elementary school for her, high school for me. Been a long time. What did Timberland say? Been a long time since I left you. Yeah. So anyway, I want to shout out to Sony. She knows who that is. Sony, shouting out to you, thinking about you. All folks out there with pets that are truly like family. And, when they get sick and you have to make tough decisions, I'm thinking about y'all, man. I'm thinking about y'all. It is not easy. It is not easy. I remember waking up a couple of years ago. Y'all remember? I woke up a couple of years back, and my Great Dane had transitioned, and man, I was wrecked. I still get a little sensitive when I think about it. So all you pet owners out there that your pets are like your family. I'm thinking about y'all. I'm thinking about y'all. It ain't sometimes tough decisions. Sometimes tough decisions. All right, so let's see. Amy said, yes, sir, on Spectrum. What Spectrum? Is that? Oh, that's the cable up there. That's the cable news, cable network up there. Amy said, yeah, we went back since 1869. Hush, child. Just silly. Just silly. I appreciate y'all, like, getting me off point right now because, man, I really want to go in on Brett Favre. I really want to go in on everybody that is coming for LeBron James. Oh, he put a hit out on a police officer. Number one, that's fake news. Number two, this false outrage is just ridiculous. Y'all had no, and yeah, I said y'all had no concern about police officers when y'all was beating them upside the head on January the 6th, when y'all were crushing them in between doors, talk about 1, 2, 3, heave. You didn't care about the blue line then. You didn't care about them then. You didn't care about the military then. You care about the military when y'all was watching a police officer, a rogue, racist police officer, pepper spraying one because he did what many of us have been taught to do. But now all of a sudden, LeBron James is public enemy number one again. And I'm just tired of it. God, I'm so tired of it. So sick and tired. Let me put it in perspective for you real quick, and then maybe I can leave it alone. I might bring it back up when Kris Gardner comes on from Houston Roundball Review. You want to hold LeBron James, an athlete, a basketball player. Yeah, he's an activist. Yeah, he's a businessman. Yeah, he's an entrepreneur. But you want to hold him to a higher standard than you held the president of the United States of America. And you feel good about that. You feel absolutely great. Yeah, I do. Shut up. You are a hypocrite. And I don't care which political party you are associated with. I don't follow the crowd. Never did. When I was a little kid, I would drift away from the crowd. I'm not going to follow you because you're liberal, and I'm certainly not going to follow you because you're conservative. You're a hypocrite. Go get your house in order. Stop talking about other people as if you don't have issues in your communications. The man did not put a target on a police officer. I'll be right back.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey guys, this is Irma J from Internal Revamp, and you're listening to AJ on The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. Kris Gardner, Houston Round Ball Review, going to join us in a minute. I tried, man. I did. I tried. All my life, I had to fight. And you told Jason, I hate black people to hit me. Brett Favre. All these crazy, just hypocritical, ain't got nothing to do. Candace Owens ain't got nothing to do but be mad about everything. Anything somebody that they don't like says or does, they're mad about it. LeBron James posted on his Facebook page from the LeBron James Family Foundation. We love making Akron and our planet a better place. It's a picture of kids from all shapes, sizes, nationalities, cultures, planting trees and shrubs and just making the place beautiful. And he said, happy #Earth Day. You think that could be common ground, that maybe we can just put our differences aside? We're not talking about police brutality and shooting unarmed people. We're not talking about insurrections. We're not talking about politics. We're just talking about the doggone planet. And kids are planning stuff to make the planet look good. But no, grown people, I'm not going to put their names out there. I ain't got that bad yet, but another spoiled multi-millionaire in shorts that chases a ball for a living. I'd like to see him do a ride along with a police officer to see what they face each day. He couldn't handle it. A, what's that got to do with Earth Day? And B, you do the ride along. You couldn't handle it. I love good police officers. I love good sheriffs and deputy sheriffs and constables. I love them. Good detectives and FBI. I love them. They provide a level of security and safety that this world needs. I am not a defund or do away with the police guy. I'm not. I said the other day, if somebody is trying to assault me or attack me with a weapon, I'm not going to call a therapist or a social worker. Call a police officer. Now, does that mean I want that person killed? No. I want them apprehended. I want them arrested. I want them tried by whatever the laws in the land allow. But you got people that are so up in arms. If this guy didn't post this when they killed Officer Sicknick, if he didn't say that about people who tried to make it seem like January 6th was just a walk in the park, why are you going after an athlete? Why do we have to hear how spoiled he is? We just had one of the biggest babies in the world in the whole doggone White House. Got his feelings hurt about everything. lashed out at literally everybody except people that he liked, and sometimes he lashed out inappropriately at them. But LeBron James is a spoiled athlete. Here's another one. Remember Lil Bron, not love, Lil Bron, you have done some good deeds. However, the evil you're spewing now is unforgivable. Making money through the communist China, upholding slave labor, and leading our kids to revolt. Heaven's not looking so good for you right now. No, who am I kidding? You don't have a chance in HELL of getting into heaven. Sorry, not sorry. Really? That's what we're doing now? Now we're dictating which athlete can get into heaven and can't? How many people on January 6th are going to heaven? How many people that were in the White House and Congress from 2016 to 2020 are going to heaven? I already know what you think about the person that's in there now. I already know that. I know that. What is, listen, what is wrong with us? Like, for real, what is wrong with us? Are we crazy? Listen, I know that Brett Favre, I know that Jason, I hate black people. I know that Kim Mulkey, I know they're not well. I know this. I don't even have to explain it. But what's wrong with the rest of us? Like, this is really what we're doing? Some lady, something's wrong with your brains, Mr. Double Standard. When it comes to you, wait, and I hope it never happens to you. If you're in danger and need a police officer, he who won't be there for you. Wow. But I bet she never said that to people who have the authority to make positive changes for everybody and didn't. She never said that to people who humiliated Gold Star families and humiliated reporters who had disabilities and who mocked women who were claiming sexual assault. Didn't just deny it, just said that they were too ugly. Like, if they were cuter, I would have assaulted them, but they were too ugly, so I didn't. Like, praise white supremacists. Good, fine people. But LeBron James is held to the highest standard. LeBron James has to be at the absolute highest standard, or else people take to the internet and start spreading what they really think. What is wrong with us? I mean, I'm sick. What, seriously, I need an answer. What is wrong with us? Wow. All across America today, people who are grateful to law enforcement officers are sickened by you. If you are ever attacked by a knife-wielding assailant, I hope your family, friends, and bodyguards stand back and do nothing to protect you, even when the assailant gets the upper hand, is repeatedly plunging the knife into your chest. As you lie there bleeding out and taking your last breaths, as your lungs fill with blood, remember that you targeted a law enforcement officer who saved the life of a young black teen who was being attacked by a knife-wielding assailant. Somebody typed that. Somebody read that. Somebody felt good about that. And somebody hit send. What is wrong with us? Here's what I don't get. Why does it have to be all or nothing? I don't like to use the terminology black and white. Oh, it's black or white. I don't like to use that because you know where that came from. At least some people know where that came from. Oh, it's just a black and white issue. I don't use that. Why do we have to be from one extreme to the other? Why can't we agree that the officer in Columbus did the right thing? He protected and saved the life of a young lady, a couple of young ladies. But why can't I also say, I wish, though, in doing that there was some way to save the life of a 16-year-old girl who was clearly having a out of this world moment that she didn't even get a chance to live to regret. Why can't I wish for both? Why can't I wish that police officers do not use deadly force as step number one? Maybe I've watched too much TV. Why do I believe that an attack to the leg or an attack in another part of the body, not directly in her chest, might have done the job? Oh, AJ, they can't think that fast. Why not? Why can't we hope for one of the most lethal, dangerous professions in the world have a higher standard than everything else? There are people that literally said because of the Derek Chauvin decision that people won't want to be police officers. So you're telling me if people can't kneel on other people's necks for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, ultimately causing their death, whether they intended to or not, Brett Favre, they don't need to be policemen? They don't want to be policemen? That's coming out of y'all's mouths, not mine. That's what you're saying when you say people are now not going to want to be police because of the Derek Chauvin decision. You should want the Derek Chauvins off the street. You should want the other officers who stood by and did not protect and serve off the street. It makes the job easier for the good cops, and that's not LeBron James's fault. Hello, you're live on a lunch break.
Brother, AJ, good morning to you, my brother, and lunch breakers. AJ, you know what the problem is in America? We have a great divide in America. Who really cares what Brett Favre has to say about anything? We know and watch LeBron be an officer and a gentleman throughout his whole career. We've seen him evolve, AJ, as a young man into a real man. Now, sometimes, AJ, the scriptures scare me. You know, the more I read the scriptures, the more I know how truthful they are. The Bible says, AJ, that man would destroy himself. And at some point, people can keep pushing, but at the end of the day, AJ, a dog gets tired of getting kicked. So we can fix everything. Everything that's under the sun, man, is fixable. But the thing about it is you have a total disrespect when it comes to black and white. You don't have to say it, I'll say it. Black people that I know of are real religious. And we try to walk that chalk line, AJ. We try to turn that other cheek. But if you keep pushing us to the edge, we're not going to have any choice but to retaliate. The only reason why God hadn't killed us all, because he tremendously have a love that I'll never understand for man. So if he had it, then we should grasp from that and learn to love our neighbor. I seen a principal one time, AJ, talk. Now, this man had a gun on another student. A white principal talked this man down from killing that student. Now, why is it a woman can talk a guy down without any weapon, without any guns being fired? Talk him down. So the policing, if you're scared, don't be a policeman. Do not get in that career. If you're scared, don't get there. But the thing about it is you can talk a situation down immediately. If a situation becomes deadly, you use deadly force. But in this situation, from afar can be talked down, AJ. So the policing is not right. And a lot of this negativity that White has against us because of the verdict, AJ, it's going to get ugly. The verdict was what it needed to have been guilty. AJ, when I go and I have to confess to Jesus at the end of the day, only thing I can say, AJ, is guilty. I can't say anything else. That's the only thing I can say. So we as a people, we can change the direction that we're going in. But if the love and hate continues between black and white, AJ, it's going to get ugly. We're trying to stop it, people, before it gets there. We're not scared of y'all by no means. We just honor and we give honor to who all presented it for us. But at the end of the day, AJ, I read about David and I read about Abraham. They loved God, but they still took care of business. So just let y'all know, we're trying to walk this thing. We're trying to iron it out. But don't push us. Because when we get close to the edge, we'll have no other choice but to destroy what we should have did a long time ago. So I'm going to keep praying, AJ, that it never comes to pass. But I'm going to leave you with the scripture. Man will destroy himself. I'm going to get on sports and I'm gone. Throwback. Jerome Bettis, we don't really talk about him a lot. Man, he really did a lot for Pittsburgh. He told me, if you get me there, I'll get you a championship. And so, Andre, once we give you our word and we believe in ourselves, it comes to pass. God bless you. Thank you for your time. And keep praying for me that I don't lose my mind dealing with these folk out here in this world.
Appreciate you, Ferdinand, always, brother. Always.
God bless, man. I really appreciate all you do, AJ. And, man, at some point, man, we got to stop fighting and start loving more. You can't have one-sided, AJ. You can't have black folk loving white folk and black folk hating white folk hating black. It doesn't work that way. Love and hate, sir, will never be friends, but they will do battle if it's not correct.
That's a word. That's
Amen. God bless. I'm up for my father, man. God bless.
All right, brother. Call in the year 2017, Ferdinand. I'm not advocating violence. I'm not. I just don't. Enough, man. Enough. I hope that another mother or father or sister, brother will not have to bury their child because of someone who could have done better. And you know what's interesting? The officer up in Columbus, I'm going to say this, I'm probably going to offend a lot of people. I don't blame him. When I listen to all of the news reports, when I listen to the mayor, when I listen to the police chief, when I listen to them, I hear one constant thing. He did what he was trained to do. He followed his training. They call it IDLE, immediate defense of another of life, immediate defense of life. It was definitely that. That was the letter of his training. He followed his training. I can't blame him. I can still be hurt, brokenhearted, and question whether or not something else could have been done. Or better yet, let me say it like this. I can also wish that he was trained differently and better. What if he was trained to go for his taser first? What if he was trained to shoot in the lower extremity first and not center mass? Just doing what he was trained to do. I'm just saying we ought to be smart enough, intelligent enough, at least to try to do something different. Got another break. Be right back right after this on lunch break.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number, 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won.
No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America. Working Forces, Clyde Cummings Jr., agent.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we are giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath Concert. Saturday morning, April 24 at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right, y'all. Back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. And just throwing back, let me throw back to Saturday. This Saturday, past Saturday, was the debut of a new show here on the program or on the station called Coffee with Keith. Coffee with a K with Keith. And that's our own Longhorn Keith, who's been a listener and a supporter and a contributor to this show for a while. He's got his own deal now, and it's an amazing show. You can check it out this coming Saturday from 12 to 1. It's Coffee with Keith. Talks about coffee, the business, the industry, and how you can be a part of it, how you can make money off of a very lucrative business known as coffee. I invested in that business today a couple of times. So be sure to tune in this coming Saturday on Coffee with Keith. It's a great show. He's a great guy, and you'll be blessed. So check that out today. All right. I got to get off these messages. Here's another young lady. While LeBron is making millions playing a game, officers are risking their lives daily for pennies compared to what he makes. LeBron has now become a bully behind a screen and has bodyguards that protects him. I'd love to see him quit basketball, give up all his endorsements, and become a police officer, making police officers' wage, and see how long he lasts. What does that even mean? So I've got to quit doing what I'm blessed to do. I did not pay myself this amount of money. The league, the business, the industry calls for him to make that kind of money. But it's his fault that the police officers make less and put their lives on the line. But let me just ask this. So because a person or a professional puts their life on the line, that means we got to give just total immunity when they mess up? Total immunity when they do wrong? We're not allowed to question, man, what you did the right thing for the right reason, but what can we do better? How is there any way we could have done this better? That's sin number one. That's the greatest sin of all, because we question a person or a group that has a very dangerous job for not a lot of pay. We just ought to accept anything because they don't make enough money. I could say so much based on that line of thinking that just would not be appropriate. I just wish people would stop being all or nothing. There is nothing wrong with police unions using their power, talk about a bully pulpit, their power and their resources to make sure that their police officers are doing it the best way possible where everybody goes home. Had an officer say, hey man, the rule is, if it's between me and you, I'm going home every night. If it's between me and you, I, the police officer, am going home every night. I get it. But how about we expand that to 2021 and say, how about everybody goes home tonight? You go home, I go home. If you're stopping me because I don't have a license plate on the back of my vehicle and we're both on a dark, dangerous highway and you got a partner, I don't. If I drive to a lit facility where we're all safe, why do I have to get pepper sprayed for that? Oh, well, you didn't get out of the car. I'm afraid to get out of the car. You should be. But because I didn't obey the police officer, it's okay to pepper spray me. All right, listen, I get why you didn't stop back there. Here's why we're stopping you. We could not see your temporary license plate. We see it now. Do you mind if we verify your information with this plate? Now I'm de-escalating. Now I'm communicating. Now I'm extending a measure of respect, and hopefully I'll get a measure of respect back. The crazy thing is you can run the plate without the ID. You can run the plate and say, okay, the plate came back to A.J. Jones. Here's what A.J. Jones looks like. You have all that at your fingertips. And then you come back and say, all right, Mr. Jones, I see that as your vehicle. Here's a ticket for it not being visibly displayed, and everybody goes home. I don't have to exert my, I don't even know what to call it, self-given authority in order to feel like I have made you comply. Compliance is now life or death. And even when a person complies, Philandro Castro, they get killed And there is no accountability. That officer did not go to trial. That officer did not lose his job. That officer is working today. And because he has such a tough job, it's okay in some people's mind that Philandro Castro is dead. And whose fault is it? LeBron James. Apparently. Apparently.
Just a minute.
Okay. All right, got it. So this, but no, you gotta keep sports out of politics. Brett Favre's not. Jay and I hate black people is not. Why LeBron got to keep it out? Why does Karl Anthony Towns, why is he being vilified? Because he shared his thoughts and he's in Minnesota. I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right. Keisha Kelly, the queen of Black College Experience, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah. Winston-Salem State today. I went and checked on some new gear, and they didn't have it in my size, so I didn't want to come in here all baggy with 3 X's on and all that. But I got some other gear that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm keeping an eye on. Keeping an eye on. Keisha said because he's LeBron. So it's the goalpost shifts because LeBron said it. I know that's the part that blows my mind. You won't hold the president of the United States to the same standard that you want LeBron James to be held to. And people feel self-righteous enough to want LeBron to experience death. You never wish death on the president. You wish death on people that don't think like you and don't vote like you, and then now in cases like this, don't look like you. How's that okay? How is that okay? How is that okay? My mama, she knew I had a cussing problem early. She's like, that mouth, don't kiss me with that mouth. You just said bad words out of that mouth. Don't kiss me with that mouth. And then when I got older, she'd say, you gonna go kiss your babies with that mouth. How in the world in 1 minute can you wish death on LeBron and then tell somebody you're going to pray for him or you're thinking good thoughts about him or you wish them well? How's that work? Where does that level of self-righteousness come from? We'll be fighting to get in church without a mask on Sunday and throwing your hands up and praising the Lord like crazy, and you just wish death on LeBron James. I don't get that level of why are the athletes held to a higher standard? Because of the money they make? So if they made the money of police officers, we would be okay with them occasionally doing it wrong, even if it cost somebody's death. We're better than that, man. We're smarter than that. We're more advanced than that. Like if we really put a man on the moon, we ought to be able to figure this out without it being at all costs, officers can kill somebody and there not be any, even if they do it right, there not be some evaluation to see if it could be done better and cause less death. Keep saying, man, if pilots crash planes 10% of the time, there'd be an outrage. If dog walkers and groomers killed animals, 10% of the time, there would be an outrage. But poor little black 16-year-old girl wielding a knife, out of control, upset. She got what she deserved. And LeBron James and me and everybody else is supposed to be okay with that. Because the poor police officers. It's okay as long as we just shut up and dribble. LeBron ain't that one. I agree. I agree. I'm not that one either. I don't care what Jason, I hate black people say. I don't care what Brett Favre says. I certainly don't care what they say on other news and radio stations. I don't. And I'm not even going to put it on having a black son. If I didn't have a black son, I'd feel this way. So, sorry, not sorry, as the social media warrior said, sorry, not sorry. All right, let me get a quick spot on. Just got a spot in. Let me play that. Hang on. Since I missed it at the 40, let me play it now.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Obama. Barack and I are so thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine because this is a deadly disease and this vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. Getting vaccinated is safe and it could save your life and allow us to start getting back to seeing friends and family again. We can do this. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's our Throwback Thursday. Keisha Kelly says, it's a black person, and as long as you are a human, you should feel some type of way. That's it. That's exactly for me. I don't feel any extra special feeling because I've got a black child. I feel bad for Asian children that are going through what they're going through right now. I feel bad for people that are literally risking their lives trying to find a better way of life and jumping over fences and swimming through, God knows what kind of infested waters, and coming to our borders and literally being vilified because they tried to come to America for a better. I feel bad for them, their children. Feel bad for the little girl that her friend cut her hair and then the librarian cut her hair on the other side. I feel bad for her. Take a break. Be back on the lunch break.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. All this holler, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from that. He's a man. They can be a kid just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's one. Yeah. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What
over.
Now that's just the first hour on the books. Second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK. It's our Throwback Thursday, and I tried to get all of that out of the way before I got this man on. Had to try and get it out of the way before I got the tall, light-skinned brother who'll be killing them on Houston Round Ball Review. Been doing it for a long time. Local name, national perspective. He's back. It's Kris Gardner, Houston Round Ball Review. What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you?
Man, I got it all out of my system before you came on, man.
I don't know why you did that, man, because, I want to jump on there and let's do this. Let's ride on this road together.
Brother. I have mentors in this business who tell me that social media is a different animal and don't read the comments. They tell me that. They like, yo, bro.
Oh, you made that mistake. Oh.
I made the mistake, Kris. I made the mistake. I saw LeBron James post for Earth Day. I saw all the little kids from all the different cultures and everything. I was feeling good about it, Kris. I was like, oh, LeBron, now we ain't talking about officers and shootings and all that. And sure enough, somebody wished that the man get stabbed to death and die slowly and drink his own blood and all that. And I ain't been the same, bro. I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with us. What is wrong with us?
The internet makes cowards very brave. So, a lot of the.
But Kris, these are elders and deacons and
it doesn't make any difference.
Worship leaders and pastors and apostles and
fake Christians, fake Muslims, fake Mormons, fake, pick and choose a religion, fake.
Okay, but these are librarians. These are
fake librarians, whatever, fake. They say they love you, then their actions and their words prove differently. That's how it is. That's where it is in 2021. On and on, the wheels in the bus go round and round. Hey, ain't gonna bother me.
And Kris, how we holding the athletes to a high standard that we have?
That's the one that baffles me to this day. How people choose to hold athletes, celebrities even, in a higher accountability demand than you do politicians, than you do presidents, vice presidents, senators, congressmen, mayors. I don't understand that whatsoever.
I don't get it. And watch this. And not all athletes, because Brett Favre apparently can say whatever he want to say. He can say apparently whatever he want to say. Him.
Well, because a lot of his fans agree with what he says. I don't. He put it out there. This person put it out there. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I hope I don't get him in trouble. He put it on Twitter. Matt Bullard. Kudos to Matt Bullard. Bull said earlier this week, I think it was early this week, in response to one of Mr. Favor's tweets, he said, Brett, thank you for showing us who you are. We see who your fans are, who support you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Something like that. I was like, go ahead, Matt. That's fine. You see who people are. I'm 49 years old now, man. I'm not gonna sweat these folks. Thank you for showing me who you are. I don't have to waste my time on you anymore. That's fine. Next. On to the next. Yeah. No.
I'm older than you, and I messed around and read the comments, man. I read read them.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I made that mistake a few years ago, and I tried to do better and gotten better and ignore it. Don't read the comments. And I saw this morning from Brother Bomani Jones, and he said something similar to what we're talking about right now, saying that he learned to stop retweeting people who don't share his and his followers' views. Why give them the platform? Why do a quote retweet on them? Why acknowledge what that person is saying in your timeline and give them that platform? Don't. You can read it, you can mute it, and keep on going.
I'm trying.
Keep on trying, brother.
I need a don't read the comments pill. If I get some.
Man, if there's a pill, you'd be rich, man.
If I get some Don't Read the Comments water, I would drink it and take the pill, and I'd be all right.
Man, yeah. If it was only that simple. Yep.
Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Listen, I'm gonna start at the bottom.
with the Rockets?
Yeah, man. Let me start at the bottom. Why?
So what part of the Rockets, though? On the court or off?
You know where I'm going. I'm going off the court. He didn't wear a mask and some gloves when he went to the club.
Oh, my goodness.
They don't pass out masks at the front of the club. Here you go, Doc. Wait, this is good. Have a nice day. Be sure to social distance.
And the time of it. Apparently, this was an after-hours joint. I'll put it like that. After-hours club, after-hours establishment. I'm trying to be nice and maintain here for KYOK. And it was a group of them. We know two of the Rockets. We know two names were there, but it was more than two that were there.
So wait a minute now. This wasn't a 9 to 5 club or a 5 to 9 club. This was one of the clubs that after everything else closed.
I mean, think about it, brother. They played Orlando earlier Sunday night. So they left Orlando, went to Miami. So they had to arrive in Miami around midnight or later. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they went to the club. So the club's still open because Sterling was assaulted 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So, and Kevin Porter Jr. came to his defense and got involved. Where was security? Where was the team security for all this? Some of this stuff, there's still a lot to be, I have questions about that the NBA is going to investigate and find out. And my personal opinion is the Rockets are going to hear from the NBA and they're not going to like what they hear.
Well, we already heard that Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be out for a week because of breaking health and safety protocols. I'm glad that he was there to defend Sterling Brown. I'm glad about that.
Stop. Because what if this club was 21 and up? He ain't 21.
Oh, man. I ain't know that.
I said, it could be an 18 up. I don't know. But like I said, if it's 21 and up, he ain't 21.
So I'm trying to fix it for him. Some clubs, now I heard, this ain't what I know.
I've heard things like this too. I don't, never been before, but yeah.
I read this on the internet, not the internet, on the internet.
Yeah.
That some clubs, if they stop selling spirited drinks at a certain time, then they can still stay open for fellowship.
I've heard that too, yeah.
For fellowship.
We read the same internet. Yeah, I've heard that. Mm-hmm.
And if he was in there during the time when they weren't selling spirited drinks, because I read on the internet that if he was in there when they wasn't selling drinks, when they were just fellowshipping, maybe, just maybe, he was allowed to be in there because he wasn't 21.
That is plausible. I can accept that. And I promise you the NBA will investigate that to find out and clarify that.
It's bad.
NBA ain't no joke, man. NBA ain't no joke. Their security is unreal.
I really want to get in trouble today. For some reason, I want to be in trouble.
See, you and I need to have a different platform for like after hour discussion,
bro. So here's the trouble I want to get in. He need to look at the NBA and say, who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?
And if there is security cameras, if there are security cameras,
wasn't me.
We can say that, but he got the kind of those two little strands hanging down, kind of identifiable for him, So
hold on. He got to hit him with one of these. Nope.
Wasn't me. Yeah.
My strands are on this side.
He can try it. He can try it. It's just when I heard about it, when I first posted the screenshot on Instagram, the Rockets press release about Sterling being the victim of an assault, something just told me there is more to this story than this. And lo and behold, young brother Kelly Iko with The Athletic and Jonathan Fagan with The Chronicle came out yesterday with more details. And I'm like, yeah, there was more to the story. And there's going to be more we're going to find out, I'm sure. But what disappoints me from a basketball standpoint is this was a game night. Y'all played the Heat later on that night. Come on. And the Rockets try to be slick, having them have a hotel in Coral Gables rather than Miami to avoid the nightlife. Like the players couldn't just do what they did and ride on over.
Been down to South Beach a few times.
Oh my man!
Been down to the Keys a few times myself.
But I guess when you were 14 and 53, you're like, what else we got?
Motivation.
Got to lose.
Motivation. It's a different type of meditation.
It didn't work though because they lost to the Heat and then they lost to Utah. So
they are the Heat, and it is Utah. I mean, Chris, you never know till you try, right?
That's what they say. But, I could just toss it out there. Something tells me this wasn't the first time they did that this season.
Well,
so
hold on, I got one for you. You ready? You ready?
I don't know. Go ahead.
They're young.
Well, some of them are. But
they're
I want to know. I don't really want to know, but how many of the group was it just the youngsters? Was some of the older? I mean, they don't have that many old heads on the squad, so I wonder what the breakdown of the group was, demographically.
I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I don't know why I want to be in trouble today, but if you don't know that I was there, then I wasn't there. If you don't know that I was there, then I wasn't there.
Well, I hope they didn't pay on credit card or any.
Wow,
paper trail, and suck them with cash.
Now that I was there, that was different. But if you don't know I was there, I wasn't there.
Like I said, the NBA gonna find out if you were there, and if you were there, you will hear from the NBA.
Well, I forgot I was there. Oh yeah, well you mean on Saturday? Oh, I thought you said on Friday. My bad.
That's fine. Like I said, security they'll listen to you. That's nice, AJ. That's nice. But this receipt right here had your signature on it.
Let me look. Let me see. Is that my signature?
And we have a copy of a previous signature of yours on this other document, and they match. So what you gonna say now, AJ?
You meant that club. I thought you said I was at the other. I wasn't at the other club. You meant that club. Well, I just went through and bought drinks for everybody, and then I had to go.
And see, you and I both know that lying only works for some folks. And I'm not too sure the Rockets are those some folks where lying works. So they can try it. They can try it and go to the NBPA and have representation and go that route. Hey, that's fine. Good luck.
Okay. All right, let me hush my lying self up. Let me shout out real quick to Stephen J. Gaither. Stephen J. Gaither apparently is a graduate from Winston-Salem State. What's up, Rams? I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I'll quit lying. I'll quit trying to come up for these Rockets with they 14 and 40,000.
55.
We'll be right back after this on the lunch break with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. You got to give the people now. Give the people what they want.
And I wanted to let you know that Barack and I couldn't be more thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine. This is a deadly disease, and we know the vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. It's how we'll start getting back to seeing friends and family and doing all those things we love again. So I hope you'll join me, Barack, and millions of others around the country and get your vaccine as soon as it's available to you. It's safe, it's free, and it could save your life or the life of someone you love. To learn more, just go to cdc.gov/coronavirus. I know it's been a long, hard year, but we can beat back this pandemic. With your help, we can do this.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas, at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath concert. Saturday morning, April 24th at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
People don't understand that I play One Nation Under a Groove, because one day I hope we will just be one nation under a groove instead of being what we are right now, man. Because this right here, brother, you think the Rockets are bad right now? Goodness gracious, man. I mean, folks are just, I can't. I won't. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep being me. I'm not gonna get desensitized to 16-year-old black girls getting shot. I'm not gonna get desensitized to that. I'm definitely not gonna get desensitized to 13-year-olds, seventh graders getting shot and killed. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do it. Were they wrong? Yes. Should they have not been there? Yes. Should they have not been doing what they were there doing? Yeah, correct. But that don't mean they had to die. I'm trying to find that next step. What can we do slightly differently where everybody goes home? So I'm sorry, man. I play One Nation Under a Groove. So one day, maybe, just maybe, we'll be One Nation Under a Groove, Chris. Getting down just for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. I hope so.
But you know what I'm saying.
I hope I'm alive to see that day.
Brother, you know, that's funny you say that, Chris, because I said the other day that I never thought in my lifetime I would see a white police officer convicted of murder. Now, that's the different manslaughter and all those other lesser charges, but convicted of murder. And not one count, but two counts of murder. Second degree and third degree of killing a black man. I never thought I would see that in my lifetime. I thought it would come one day, but I didn't think it would come in my lifetime. And folks took exception to that. I'm sorry. That's my experience. That doesn't have to be our experience.
That's mine too. That's mine too. I have the exact same. I thought he was going to get off, period.
Yeah.
I had one of my road dogs. He said no, because of the, second and third degree charges, he's going to get it. He will be found guilty. And I was like, man, this is America. And as a white officer and a black, killed a black man. This is America. I just don't see it. So I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised. It was good to see good cops speak against that bad cop.
Right.
As if that is some massive revelation. that should happen all the time.
Yep.
We want accountability. Everybody should want accountability. Period. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. When did right become a color?
Yeah.
And when did wrong become a color? Right is right. Wrong is wrong. So, yeah, I was shocked. All three, all charges guilty. Now, I was very happy for that. But, as some other colleagues have said and continue to say, it's not like it was justice. I'm glad it happened, but it doesn't change the fact about everything, all the injustice that's happened before that and may happen again. So we have so far still yet to go.
Yeah.
And for the folks who really don't see where you and I are coming from that point of view, well, you haven't lived our lives. You haven't been in our shoes to understand where we're coming from on that.
Right.
But that should be an indicator to you of the mentality and the trauma that we have faced all these years on this earth to think that way.
Yeah.
There is a reason why we think that way.
Right.
It didn't just happen yesterday.
Right.
We didn't just wake up and say, well, yesterday's going to be a bad day, and and a cop killing and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm gonna change my tune and think, yeah, all cops are bad, all blah 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 blah. 49 years for me, 49, and I'm not gonna ask your age, brother, but you said you're older than me, so you've lived longer than I have. There's a reason why we feel this way,
right?
And because we feel this way, that should concern everyone to make a change and do better for all of us to live, as you in the song, live one nation under a groove, to be together and live as one. Should not be this complicated. Too many people have chosen to make this complicated. Justice for everybody. What's so hard about that? I don't understand that.
And again, folks don't get that a lot of this push, a lot of these protests are about equality, not revenge.
That's it.
Not looking for to be treated unfairly in a good way. Listen, nobody that I know wants to see a criminal get off. Nobody that I know.
Correct.
They don't want to see people killed for stuff that they should not have lost their life for. A routine traffic stop. Somebody running out of fear. You know where they live. You know who they are. Meet them at the house and arrest them then. I just don't understand this okay with lethal force, and we're just supposed to accept it because, poor police officers got the toughest job in the world. It's got to be better.
And none of us are saying that being a police officer is easy. I don't want that job. I don't want it because it's so difficult. But accountability has to be involved. Period. Why is that so difficult? I want good cops to speak out against bad cops because you know what? Bad cops ruin it for good cops.
Exactly.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Exactly.
So if you have a bad cop, a bad department, get rid of them and don't hire them again somewhere else. If they have been fired for cause in one department, don't let them go somewhere else and be hired again to do wrong at that new department. This is not difficult. Yet society, too many of us in society just choose to perpetuate this stuff, kick down the can. It's not a problem. It doesn't exist. It's all in their head. It's only been a problem for hundreds of years. But no, it hasn't. No, it's not systemic. No, it's just all in their heads. Okay. Let's talk to sports, brother. What's on your brain, man?
So I didn't think the Rockets were going to beat Utah. I'm sorry. I know I was supposed to have hope. I don't think they're going to beat the Clippers or Denver either. They got Minnesota after that. There's that. Can we start there?
Yeah, might as well because that ball game is a titanic matchup between the two worst teams in the NBA. Loser I don't know about the inside track, but could have help their chances of getting the number one pick in the 2021 NBA draft.
So if I'm the Rockets, I'm trying to miss a few shots. I ain't trying to miss a few shots, but if I'm a little off, if I front rim it, back rim it, if I go for the rebound and I don't quite box out.
Bro, they don't have to try.
Oh.
They were 10 for 49 from 3 last night.
Why
They didn't try. They just clanged them.
Why they shoot 49 threes?
Because Utah said, y'all ain't getting into the paint.
Okay.
So what else you got?
Okay.
We're going to dare y'all to beat us from the outside because we don't think y'all can do it.
Okay.
Like I said, fine. We're going to show you that we're going to take these shots. Utah's like, okay, y'all ain't going to make them. Go ahead. Jason Tate, 0 for 9 from 3. Armani Brooks, 2 for 11 from 3.
And you told me he was the Rockets' best three-point shooter.
Yeah. Well, right now, yeah, because, Eric Gordon's hurt. DJ Augustine's hurt. Daniel House is hurt. David Wabba's hurt. So, yeah.
So, in other words, no, don't trade me to the Rockets. I don't want to get hurt.
But let me say, if I may, Armani Brooks is 7 games into his Rockets NBA career.
Yeah.
He shot well from 3 in 3 of those games.
All right.
Okay. 3 from 7 is 4. That means he has not shot well from 3 in 4 of those games.
Okay.
The last 2, let's see, he was 2 for 11 last night. I forget what he was against the Heat, but it wasn't very good. And then prior to that, he was 0 for 6 in other 2 games where he did make a 3.
Okay.
So all my U of H alums, all those Rocket fans, pump your brakes. Armani, yes, he is a good 3-point shooter, but acknowledge the fact that right now he is not making threes consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Because he made, I think, in the 3 games he shot well, he's made 11. I think 5, 4, and I think 2. Okay, 11 threes in 3 games. That's almost 4 threes made a game. That's great. 11 threes made in 5 games. Now you get down to 2. 11 threes made in 6 games. Now you get down to less than 2. So he's got to be consistent. That's what he's got to work on, is be consistent. Now, to his credit, he had 10 rebounds last night and 4 assists. So he did other things to help the team.
Uh-huh.
But let's not get all hung up on this. Armani is the answer. He could be, but right now he is not.
Okay. All right. So again, we're looking for Rockets to be the Rockets against the Clippers. We're looking for the Rockets to battle for the number 1 pick in the NBA draft against Minnesota.
No, you forgot about Denver. They're going to lose to Denver too. Clippers in Denver.
I didn't forget about Denver. I sure
Friday
did.
and Saturday, yep.
I sure did. Yeah, I said this is going to be a rough ride right here. This is the rough part of the ride right here.
Yep.
So
the Rockets, if they don't beat Minnesota on, I think, Tuesday coming up, there's a chance they may not win another game rest of the season, rest of these last 13 games.
Wow. Again, never in my lifetime. Never in my lifetime. I remember the 23 straight with Yao Ming and them.
Yep. And excuse me, the 14 and 45, I think it was, right? 59. Yeah, 13 games left. Yeah.
All right.
15 to 44, excuse me. 15 to 44. I'm shortchanging them.
Let's move over to a better subject. What is going on with Steph Curry? Did somebody make him mad?
I think so.
Did somebody I read a statement yesterday. Like, I apologized to Steph for saying that he could not carry a team. I apologize to him.
So you're the motivation. It's you. You're the one who's inspired him to remind folks who he is and why he is the best 3-point shooter in the history of the NBA.
I'm just going to drink my don't read the comments water.
So it's AJ Jones.
I said I was sorry.
_ KYOK. It's your fault.
I said I was sorry, and I said I won't go make that mistake again, nor would I be taking any questions or have any further comments. So, dude, what in the world?
10 threes. See, Steph is what every team wants in a 3-point shooter. You know, you need 10 threes, I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
I'll be right back.
So, yeah. But, that's greatness right there. And in terms of value and valuable, I could understand the argument for him as a legit MVP candidate. In terms, you still got to win if I'm voting for MVP. I know. Yes, you take Steph off the team. That used to be how my rationale was. You take LeBron off a team stinks. Team just won't win a game. I understand that too. But at some point, you got to win.
Okay.
Joel Embiid is putting them huge numbers. Philly is winning. Chris Paul getting it done. Phoenix is winning. You got to win. So, I'm not one of those who got give a guy MVP on a team that's 500 or worse. I'm, a player. Women too. Excuse me. So,
right.
But yeah, I don't know about that. You got to win.
Okay.
Don't you? That's the point, right?
Okay. So I was just like you. If you take that person off the team, what would the team be like? Now I'm a little different. Now I've enhanced it. If I take Steph off of Golden State and I put Joel Embiid over there, and vice versa, what would those teams look like then? When I do it like that, Steph is a little bit higher up on my list.
Fair, yeah.
But if not Steph, then you're saying Joel Embiid, Chris Paul, and who?
Joker, Denver.
He doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't. Big men don't get enough credit. I mean, they don't. Big men don't get enough credit in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
Which shows you the transformation of the NBA in the last few years, because the NBA used to be a big man dominated league.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard this. How long? It wasn't long ago. Stephen Silas was asked what his dad, Coach Paul Silas, thought about today's NBA. He's, asking me if they ever talked about it. Stephen said, I love Coach Paul because of this answer that Stephen said. He said, my dad hates it. My dad hates today's NBA. Too many threes. Why take so many threes? Wants to get the ball to the big man enough. I'm like, good for you, Coach Paul. Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah.
I'm old school like that.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. I don't care. Y'all can give me all these made up numbers and spin how you want to spin it. You still got to shoot a high percentage, make a high percentage of your shots. And the best way to do that is get as close to the bucket as possible. The best way to do that is with a dominant big man.
Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us on the lunch break. Throwback Thursday. I'm sorry I'm not reading the comments and the questions on my phone, because you got people who want to hide behind their text message, and rather than call me and say they disagree with me. So I just leave them all alone. The rule now is you got to call and say it with your chest. Don't cuss. Don't be disrespectful, but say it with your chest. So I know there are questions out there for you. I just ain't reading them. That's all.
That's fine. And see, I'm good with, I know folks don't agree with me all the time, and I don't want that. But we can disagree and be respectful in the disagreements.
That's my part.
But, I'm not going to insult you. So don't insult me. Yeah. Like I have friends and colleagues now who are much more analytic than I am. I'm old school. Hey, I'll tell you right to your face, I'm old school. You can give me all these numbers and try to convince. It ain't gonna work, because I can give you a counter to you, what you're trying to say to me. Yeah. So we can agree to disagree on that, and that's fine. That's what this is. That's how this should be. Yeah. That's it. That's how a civilized society behaves.
That's why
unfortunately, we're not a civilized society.
That's why I keep asking the question, what's wrong with us? Like, what's wrong with us? Like, because I don't agree with you and what you did, I got to wish death on you and your family. And I got to say stuff like, you'll get what you deserve. And I wish somebody would stand back and let you get stabbed. I don't understand what's wrong with us. Like, really, what's wrong with us?
That I don't know where that mentality came from. Maybe it's always been there. It's just not more publicized. I don't know. But, there's many politicians that I don't agree with. I'm not going to wish death on them. I don't want them to I don't wish ill will on them. I don't want anything bad happen to their families. Come on, be an adult. Yeah. Be a grown up. Yeah. No, come on. We need to rise above that and be better than that. Yeah. If I disagree with you, I'm going to tell it to your face.
Yeah.
Or over the phone, and I'm going to explain to you my view. But I'm not going to. Oh man, I want you to die. I want some. What is that? Come on,
Right. I'll read this one because it's on Facebook Live and his name is right there by it. Floyd Andrews, big time Floyd, says, hello, AJ and Kris and the Breakers. regarding the Rockets. Will Tillman pull the plug on Steven Silas after 1 year on the rebuild? The players have thrown in the towel and are simply not disciplined. New coaches needed to fix the chaos at the Toyota Center.
I would be surprised if Tillman fires Steven Silas after 1 year. I wouldn't be shocked because it's Tillman's money. But I would be surprised, one, because Tillman still have to pay Steven after, 3 more years on the contract, 3 or 4 more years left on his contract. So, no, I don't think it would make sense because, as we all know, when Steven was hired for the job, James Harden and Russ were on the team.
Yeah.
Now, if he would have taken the job where the team is now, with these players, with no James, no Russ, and they lost, or, then you got something else. But when he was hired, it was Raphael, Tad Brown, Steven Silas, physically distanced, talking about how much James and Russ pushed for Steven to get the job. And how we are still focusing, our goal is to make the playoffs and compete for a championship. That was all said at the press conference. So based on all that, well, James and Russ aren't here. So, no, in my opinion, Steven Silas should not be fired after this season.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And then add on to all that, all the injuries. My goodness, man. They have, with Kevin Porter Jr. now in the health and safety protocols, 7 guys out because of injuries or health and safety. Yeah. 7.
Yeah.
And most of that 7 is your core 9.
Right.
Well, then how are you supposed to win? Why would you expect the team to win when 7 of your core players are out? That's hard. Well, I mean, he's not a miracle worker. So, but again, Tillman, as we have seen many times, has done things that only Tillman understands. So it would not shock me, but I don't think it is justified to fire Steven Silas after this season.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the Lunch Break Throwback Thursday, as always. Just got a quick thought for you. Who is your biggest surprise team in the West right now?
Oh, I guess Phoenix, because they're doing so well.
Right.
I kind of thought they'd be better and good, but not this good.
I thought Phoenix would be 8, 9, somewhere around there.
Maybe even 4, maybe 4, 5, 6, but they're really going for the best record in the West.
Bruh.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is it Chris Paul? Is he that special sauce?
Yep. Yeah. And Monty Williams, of course. Yeah.
I love Monty.
And Devin Booker got some help finally. But yeah, the pieces mesh, and Chris Paul was that missing piece for that success.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. Now they got to do the playoffs.
Right. That again, that's why I said right now, because there are a lot of teams right now with really good records that come playoff time, folks are going to be surprised. Surprise team in the East.
In a positive way.
It could be positive. Again, you and I have started to sync up. It could be positive or negative, because that's what I was thinking in a negative way. Go ahead.
Because I had him as my sleeper last week on the lunch break, but I would say Miami. I thought they'd be better than this. Injuries, and it's hard for me to be overly critical of any team this year because of COVID and the impact of COVID and the practices and not practices and all that stuff.
I'm critical of Boston any day of the week, anytime, anywhere, anyhow. But I get what you're saying.
But I'll probably lean toward Miami because, Boston, I could see it. But, Miami they were in the finals, man. And Bam's still there. Jimmy's still there. Goran's still there. But, yeah, their record is not as good as I thought it would be this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Again, I'm right there with you. I expected Miami to come out and fill that void in what I thought was not a weak Eastern Conference, but just an Eastern Conference that didn't have a clear-cut favorite. Because remember, Brooklyn hadn't done half of what they've done roster-wise now. It was Kevin Durant, don't know how long he's going to be out. Kyrie Irving, don't know, what's going to go on with him. And now they got a squad. Philly was Philly. Boston was Boston. And then there's everybody else. So to see what, in a negative way, Miami didn't do, and what I considered to be a wide open field, was my biggest surprise. The other positive surprise, Charlotte. Charlotte is a positive.
Oh no. And this is my fault. Positive got to be the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Knicks got to be the Knicks.
Yeah.
They won 8 in a row now,
Yeah.
And honestly now, Tibbs, why not have him be considered coach of the year? Because we thought they'd be better, but they're in the running for a home court advantage, man, in the first round, man. So
yeah, Shaq gets on my nerves. I got to say that before I got to take a break. Shaq gets on my nerves. So the Knicks, with all they've done already, has to win home court advantage for him to say that they're back.
I'm not Shaq, but Tibbs got to be considered up there for coach of the year. Him and Monty Williams got to be up there for coach of the year.
I would be happy if they did an Eastern coach of the year and a Western coach and give it to both of them. I would, but that ain't how it works. But I'm happy for Tibbs because he got a bad rap in some places, man, saying he was too hard, too old school, and what have you. And look at what he's doing with the Knicks.
And he is hard and old school, and some players just don't function as well with that.
Well,
let's leave it at that.
I'm a little bit country. Some other people a little bit rock and roll. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. 281-453-1000 if you want in. 281-453-1000. Or hit me up on social media where I can see your name. Don't text me. I ain't reading your stuff. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047.
No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America. Working Forces, Claude Cummings Jr., agent.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Obama. Barack and I are so thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine because this is a deadly disease, and this vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. Getting vaccinated is safe, and it could save your life and allow us to start getting back to seeing friends and family again. We can do this. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
John P. Key, the legendary John P. Key. John P. Key. John P. Key and New Life is coming to the Houston area in Porter, Texas, at the Embassy Event Center. Join Apostle David Gilliam as we welcome John P. Key and New Life. It's the I Made It Out Drive-In Sabbath concert. Saturday morning, April 24th at 10:30 a.m. Admission is absolutely free, but you must reserve your spot by texting JPK to 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. Come be uplifted and refreshed with John P. Key and New Life. 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 24th in Porter, Texas at the Embassy Event Center. Make sure you text the letters JPK 346-715-0711. That's 346-715-0711. The legendary John P. Key.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune in to the legendary KYOK at the lunch break. And I'm Raven Rogers.
And I just absolutely love that young lady. She was an intern here out of Kincaid High School. She attended University of Oregon, where she was the 5-time indoor and outdoor 800-meter champ. And she is getting ready for the 2021 Sochi Olympics if they are held. And that question is still remaining open. So love Raven Rogers. Went to Kincaid High School, bro. So we know her. Local girl, national perspective.
Good for her. Great for her. And I hope I hope it's healthy enough to have the Olympics.
That's my point.
And then if it is, I hope she shines and brings home gold.
Yeah, that's my point for her and all the other athletes from all the countries, man. I'm not, I want everybody to be safe, and then I want it to be competitive. So we were talking about, surprises. You were talking about the Knicks. Definitely, probably biggest positive surprise. I got to give love to Charlotte. Definitely are, I'm going to leave Boston out of this for right now. But again, like you said, Miami, they're starting to get hot now, though. They're starting to warm up now. They beat a Spurs team that I just don't know what to make of with the Spurs. Are they too in a rebuild? Are they too young? What's happening with the Spurs right now?
They're 10th, AJ. I mean, they are what the record says they are.
Okay.
They're 10th. So they're inconsistent. Yes, they are young. They're not great. Right now, I'm not even sure they're good, but they're 10th. And except for the play-in tournament, they'd be out of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But because, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seeded teams are in that play-in, they have a chance to get one of those 8 spots. Yeah. So, for Spurs standards, this has been a failure of a season. Easy to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's switch from the men to the women. WNBA draft took place since we were last on. Any surprises there? Anything that, made you say, huh?
I watched a little bit of the first round. Yes. Tamika Catchings and the Indiana Fever. That draft choice of Kaiser Gondrzak. Yes. Massive surprise. I don't believe anybody had her going that high. And she has talent. It sounds like Tamika envisions Kaiser as being a point guard running the team in the WNBA. She did that a little bit at West Virginia out of necessity this season. But I'm not sure that's her best position long term. We'll see, But for sure, that was the biggest surprise. And I think anybody would agree on that. I do wish Charlie Collier luck, top pick in draft. This is my opinion, and although I have heard it from a few other people, I'm just not convinced she likes to score down low.
Okay.
I think she's one of those players who would rather avoid contact than dish it out.
Okay.
So I think if teams get physical with her game suffers.
Okay.
So we'll see if that continues on the pro level, because it sure showed up enough this past season against teams like Baylor, who played her physical. So, that's college. She's going against grown women
right
every day. So who can play physical and will be physical with her all the time. So I think that'll be an issue for her. But I wish all the young ladies luck. I'm kind of curious to see how many of these draft picks make rosters.
That's the thing that I've been really hearing, that there are more players available than spots available, which is normal. But you might have some name brand players that don't make rosters, and you might have high draft choices that don't make rosters.
Oh yeah, there might be some first round picks from last Thursday's draft not make a roster.
Yeah,
there's not enough roster spots. I think the league and union need to either expand rosters to two spots per team, or add two franchises. Is the league is it in a stable position to add two franchises? Because I think it's necessary, and it benefits the union because you get more members.
Right.
And I think it'll benefit the league because ultimately there's enough talent to go around and won't water down the competition. I hope that's going to happen soon. Selfishly, I'd like to have a team come back to Houston.
I was going there next. Again, we on point today. I was going there next. Would love to see a team come back to Houston, but I'll say it flat-footed from my chest with my throat. I don't want Tillman Fertitta to own it. I don't.
Oh no, I want some. I would. Yeah, it'd be great if the new owner was a woman.
Yeah,
but I want somebody, male or female, who's got deep pockets and has enough money to make it work.
Okay.
Enough cash flow to make it work.
Yeah.
Knows what they're doing. If not, hires folks who know what they're doing. Hello, ownership out there in Houston. If you want to do this, hook a brother up, because I was part of that franchise, and I covered that franchise, and I know talent, personnel. I used to do some of that stuff back in the day. And oddly enough, when Hilton owned the team poorly, but I was in one of those meetings in the building as media consultant. And because the meeting was in the, looking glass windows, everything, folks saw me sitting there, walking around. And they said, is Kris working with the Comets? Kris, how about the Comets? No, but I was in on a meeting to discuss my viewpoint and share my thoughts on what I know about the league and how I saw things run with the Comets prior. But hey, I could be a consultant again, right ownership, because that ownership was not right. That was a disaster.
That's unfortunate, man. And I forget her first name. Her last name was Paola, or I know I'm saying it wrong. But we actually bid to be their broadcast station. And we were going to cover games on several of our stations. Because, this network has eight, 9 different stations. And I cannot remember her name. And she literally looked at me, why would we want to broadcast on your stations? And I'm thinking to myself, did you ask 610 that? Did you ask 790 that? Did you ask? And I don't even think 97.5 was around back then. But it didn't have to be confrontational, but it was.
And you are again on the same page. With correct ownership, we know people. We could help.
Yeah.
Make a Houston WNBA franchise successful.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of platforms. I think KYOK could broadcast. We can make it work. So I'm tossing it out there, listeners, well-connected, deep pocket folks who are interested. We can make this work. I still have contact in the league office. Trust me.
All right.
We can make this work. If you want to make it, you want to put in the time and the money, we can do this. I think Houston deserves another WNBA franchise with better ownership.
Yep.
I know that they want to go to the Bay Area. That's fine. But Houston deserves at least give us a chance. Come hear what we have to say.
Yep.
If the presentation is great, let's do it. If it's not, okay, fair. But I know 3-4 years ago, there was talk about a WNBA, a current team being on the move, and Houston was rumored to get that team. So that was 3 or 4 years ago. So that died down a little bit, and I can say it now. I mean that team at the time was the New York Liberty.
Okay.
And they ended up moving to Brooklyn.
Okay.
But, so, yes, there was discussion then, and Houston was being considered at that point. So, hey, league people, because 4-time champ, first dynasty in league history. And when that team was rolling, there was no other venue in the league that had fans, sold out, crowds, cheering, atmosphere. It was the place to be if you were a basketball fan.
Yeah.
That could happen again with the right people in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Kris, I hope from your mouth to God's ears, I mean that. I really would love to see that come to pass. In the meantime, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, my brother.
Website is HoustonRoundBallReview.com. Houston Round Ball Review on YouTube as well as Instagram. Twitter is some of y'all say the THEHR Review. Once again, HoustonRoundBallReview.com. Been around since 1994. I know I don't look it, but 1994. Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, national perspective.
Appreciate you as always, Kris. We will definitely talk to you again. See you next Thursday, all right?
Stay safe, brother. Love you. Take care.
Love you too, man. All right, y'all. Kris Gardner, do what he says. Follow him. Houston Round Ball Review. I got to get ready to go. Let me get Sybil Wilkes in here real quick. Sybil Wilkes will give you the latest in what you need to know. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Sanitize everything around you. Be more sensitive to people around you. And when you see that racism, kill it, not the person or the people, but the racism. And stop killing unarmed Black people, y'all. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. One day after former officer Derek Chauvin was found guilty of murder and manslaughter in George Floyd's death, the U.S. Justice Department has opened a sweeping investigation into policing policies.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I absolutely love y'all's comments and feedback, and thank you for being who y'all are. I mean that sincerely. Thank y'all for being who you are. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.